What happens when you mix tennis, badminton, and table tennis? You get pickleball. Yes, you heard that right. Pickleball is a mixture of all these three sports and in fact is termed an easy and more reachable sport than those three. 1v1 or 2v2. Both are allowed in this game. In pickleball, like tennis, the net is touched to the ground. The table tennis type of racket and ball are used while the stance and the court are similar to that of a badminton court. Before we jump directly toward the strategies, let us first understand the game and its rules and then discuss strategies that can help you become a good player in pickleball. Pickleball, the game. What created boredom soon became a popular sport. This is pickleball. Started in 1965 and the first tournament was held in 1976. It was also covered by Tennis Magazine. By 1990, it was played in all states of the US. Pickleball's inclusion in ASO had a greater impact on holding tournaments in the US as they were the major contributors. Now, since 2018, the US National Championships of Pickleball is held in California. In 2022, pickleball became the official sport of Washington. Since we now know the history of the game, how it is played, and basic knowledge, let's come back to the main discussion on what strategies can we use to be a great pickleball players. The very basic thing is patience and cleverness. Now let me give you some strategies which will improve your pickleball skills. Strategies. Number 1. No volley line after return serve. Probably the best tip to give you a rally. Make sure that while you go for a return serve, follow it with a no volley line. Number 2. Hit drop shots. Drop shots can you give the edge you want over your opponent. Just when you feel that you are not on the no volley line but your opponent is. If a shot is executed properly, it will give you the edge your opponent had once. Number 3. Opponents pinned to the baseline. Make sure you keep your opponents pinned to the baseline. In case you are on the no volley line, if your opponents are deep into their court, you won't have to worry about your rally. So to sum up the first 3 strategies, come to the volley line as soon as you return serve. Execute a drop shot as soon as you see your opponent is in the no volley line. Make sure to pass deep in the opponent's court so they remain on the baseline. Number 4. Opponent's feet. Hitting right at the opponent's feet is something unplayable. This gives you an edge on how the player is, weakness, and you also get the point. While hitting at the feet seems to be a very normal strategy, but this strategy can get you points. Whenever you feel that your opponent is in no position to hit the ball that comes to the feet and play that shot. Number 5. Consistently serve deep to backhands and in the court. Unlike tennis or badminton, pickleball allows you underhand serve, and as much as it can be a good thing, there's a chance you might throw it out of the park. Serve is that part of the game where you are in control, and if you make a rally, you are in for a point. Number 6. Baseline when returning serves. Make sure to not stand close to the baseline when you are returning the serves. With this strategy, you have yourselves a little time and space to return the serve as deep as you want. To sum up the above 3 strategies, make sure to hit the ball right on the opponent's feet, as it's tough playing a shot like this. Give your best in the serve game, as it is an important part of the game. During the second shot, do not be deep inside your court. Don't be near baseline, as it might backfire. Number 7. Return serve deep. Return the serve as deep as possible to the opponent with a weaker third shot. With this, you have additional time and serve accordingly, which also creates the third shot for the opponent a little trickier and more difficult, which they might not be able to execute well. This strategy is particularly for the second shot of the game, or also called the return serve. Here, make sure to serve as deep as you can make the third shot a weakness for the opponent. Also, when returning a serve, you should target your opponent's weaker side, typically the backhand side, as well as the player on the opposing team whose third shot is weaker, since, unlike the serve, a return of serve can be hit anywhere on the opposing team's side, so you can target a specific player. So in summary, try to hit the return of serve deep in the court. Serve the ball where you think the weaker of the 2 opponents for the third shot. Serve to the weaker side. Number 8. Pickleball low. You know it's hard to keep a ball lower in sports, and pickleball is no different. It is one of the hardest things in pickleball. Keeping the pickleball lower but enough to cross the net requires you to be patient and play it calmly. The benefit is if pickleball is lower, the opponent won't be able to hit it harder or would be taking a lot of risks while doing that. Wait for the moment, and when you feel it, you could play an aggressive shot which would be highly unpredictable for the opponent's side and may get you the rally and even the point. Now you might be wondering if there are any specific racket angles that might help in keeping the ball lower. Well, there are in fact multiple racket angles. Paddle angle. To make sure you don't give the ball the height, put the racket at an angle where it's not towards the sky, but instead parallel. This would help in keeping the bounce rate. Your shot pace. When hitting up with an open paddle angle, slow the ball's pace so that it remains under our control. So to sum everything up, keep the ball lower enough to cross the net. The game runs calmly and smoothly. You have the option to play aggressively. Play in different angles like paddle or your shot pace. Number 9. Movement should be together. When playing in doubles, make sure both teammates are moving together. By moving together, the opponents are left with very little place to claim a point, unlike moving opposite. Number 10. Bend your knees. The last tip for you deals with your body stance and movement. Make sure to bend your knees a little and alongside keep moving your feet. Though this might be simple, it has a great benefit on how you select your shots and how quickly responsive you become. Feet play a major role when you select the choice of shot you want to play. By bending your knees, you would be able to keep the shots lower to keep control of the game. Simple yet a very important strategy to be considered. To sum up the last 2 strategies, when playing doubles, always make sure you and your partner are doing the movement together so as to lessen the chances of the opponents. Body posture plays a major role, and thus bend your knees and keep moving your feet. This will help you react to the ball faster and also let you play the ball lower. To sum up the last 2 strategies, when playing doubles, always make sure you and your partner are doing the movement together so as to lessen the chances of the opponents. Body posture plays a major role, and thus bend your knees and keep moving your feet. This will help you react to the ball faster and also let you play the ball lower.